She's not around swinging. You're going to arrest her for her life. That's weird. You're going to get her arrested for DV. You can't arrest someone for someone comes alive. Tell me she lied. Stop talking! What is your name? Officer Beaufort. Okay, you're going to lose your job. Okay. Yeah, I was just going to lose your job. You have the right to arrest people who don't have that. She don't. It's DG, we have to arrest. No, they don't have to. You're violating due process. She lied before, and it's on camera. I've never lied a day in my life. So how would I lie? How do you don't get it? The building's already shut. It's in the court. She lied before. We're going to take a walk through.
Don't talk to him. Wait, hey!
No, I was just saying I'll stand
No,
up.
quiet. Just listen. We're gonna get through this.
Was this started at all this morning?
What's that?
Was this case started at all this morning?
All we did was he made his motions for dismissal.
Okay.
Yeah, and now we're ready to actually start the trial.
Okay.
Unless he has more motions for dismissal, but after that. I want to apologize for the wait we had there, Mr. Martin. Did you have a chance, Mr. Martin, to watch that video?
I've seen the videos that, of the cop going in my house.
Okay, so
But there's still, but not the video of the other court case my sister.
well, I told you I'm not entertaining video from another court case.
You go attacks her credibility, but I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, well, anyways, yeah, on that, but, there's something.
Okay, well, wait 1 second. Can I get your appearance, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Natsamelia Asmer on behalf of the people, PA8493.
Okay. And, Mr. Martin?
I missed her, but, I object to the mister, because the mister would understand, but
Okay. What's your first and last name?
it would mean that I'm, not one of the sovereign people, and I am one of the sovereign people.
Okay, well, you're also a citizen of the United States, and you have a birth name, and it's Eric Martin. I'm familiar with you all except your appearance. All right, any other preliminary matters before we start testimony?
No, Your
Yes.
Honor.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, some motions, but, one of the things I need I need someone to testify for, and that's the tax assessor, Jessica here, that's next door, which supports, my sister being a liar.
All right, that's not relevant.
Her not lying is not relevant, that doesn't make sense.
You can ask her questions about
No, I'm not
that.
talking about my sister, I'm talking about the tax assessor will admit something, if she's questions which the quickest, easiest way would be like you call her, or I need to call her, subpoena her in the court to testify to something, which will.
Give me an offer of proof. What is she going to tell me?
She's gonna say the house's name, the 9074 Clifford Street where we live at, that house is in my father's name, which this is what Jessica told me. This would support my sister's lie, how she keeps on saying, it's my house, it's my house. She's all in the video saying that 1,000 times.
Okay,
So that would attack that she's a liar, which would attack her lying allegations in this complaint that she's a liar, and therefore it's relevant for that.
ma'am, can you stand and tell me your first and last name?
Lisa Martin.
Miss Martin, is the house in your father's name?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's all I need to know. All right, I'll take judicial notice of that,
Okay,
that
thank
the house is in your father's name. Anything else?
No, not as to that, no, actually, no, I have some motions now, yes, besides that.
All right, Mr. Martin.
And, okay, I move to dismiss based upon, my right to slavery, against slavery, that is, under the 13th Amendment. These proceedings from the jump have been proceeded against my consent. I never consented. If it's ever fraudulently assumed I consented, again, it's fraudulent, and it's not true, and therefore violates my right to slavery.
Okay, denied. Next. Mr. Martin, I'm going to start taking testimony soon. I've entertained about 10 motions to dismiss from you already this morning, so.
I think I have one more. No, that's about, I have one more. That's all I can think of right now. I reserve my right to bring it up again if I think of it.
All right, at the end of the prosecutor's case, you can bring a motion if you have one, okay?
Okay.
All right, any other preliminary matters?
No, Your Honor, I did just want to place on the record that I did show all the digital evidence that we have in our possession to Mr. Martin.
Okay, he's indicated on the record that he watched those videos.
Yes.
So, okay, call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people call Lisa Martin.
All right, Miss Martin, come on up to the witness stand here.
Oh, I understand.
And Miss Martin, when you get up here, I need you to stand and face me, okay? Now, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, if you can have a seat in the witness stand. Is Lisa Lisa?
Yes.
All right, you're a witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Miss Martin. I want to direct your attention back to the date of June 12, 2025. Do you remember that date?
Yes.
Okay, and on that date, were you at or near location 9?
Yes.
Is that in the city of Taylor, County of Wayne?
Yes.
And what's at that location?
My house.
Okay, and who lives at that location?
Well, it's my house. Both my brothers live there. I've
Who are
given
your
them an
brothers?
eviction notice.
Who are your brothers?
Eric Martin, and I have another younger brother, Kurt Martin. They
Okay.
both got served eviction notices. They're supposed to be on October 17th, and they ain't out.
Okay, and Your Honor, the witness did point to Mr. Martin seated at the defense table with the, let the record reflect that the witness has identified Mr. Martin.
Do you have any objections to the identity of you?
Well, just the same objection from the jump that I'm not the defendant named in the complaint. It has a similar name to me.
Okay. All right, it's admitted. The record shall so reflect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, and on that date, June 12, 2025, did something happen that day that brings you into court?
Yes.
What happened that day that brings you into court?
I was sitting at the kitchen table on my phone. My brother came through the back door.
And when you say your brother, you mean Mr. Martin or
Yes.
Mr. Eric Martin?
Yes.
Okay,
Came through the back door, walked past me, went over to my little radio that I listened to. There was a volume level from 0 to 10, it was on 2. Okay, just goes up to it, turns it down. He does this like 10 times a day. Turned it down, walked in his bedroom. I walked down the hall, stood at his door, and I said, you don't touch the radio. He goes, get out of my room. And he charges toward me and pushes me.
where are you standing?
I'm standing right at the beginning of the bedroom.
Okay, let's go behind it, or are you in the bedroom?
No, I'm not in the bedroom. I'm standing right outside of it.
Okay, and Mr. Eric Martin is inside the bedroom and he charges at you?
Yes, yeah. He's at the furthest part of his bedroom, so about 7 feet away from me. And he said, get out of my room. And then he comes toward me and shoves me, knocks me off balance. I didn't fall. And then he pushed me again, but his hand like hit my neck right here. It was like a karate chop, but he didn't like try to karate chop.
All right, next question. You got to let her ask a question. She'll ask you, and then what happened? And then what happened?
Thank you. So you stated that you were knocked off your balance. How were you knocked off your balance?
When he shoved me.
And you're making this motion,
I felt
did
it.
you use both hands?
And the
Yes.
record shall reflect, she's got both of her hands held up and pushing them away from her at shoulder height.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, and did you fall on the floor?
No.
Okay, and then you stated he tried to do that again?
Yeah, he tried to like push me again or something, but his hand like went like this. I don't know if it slipped, but it hit me like right here and it hurt for a little bit, but I didn't, I was fine.
A record shall reflect the witness is pointing to her neck area.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then that was that. And I told him, I said, you don't learn about putting your hands on me. That was the 16th time in 4.5 years that it's been my house that he's put his hands on me.
Did you allow that sort of touching, that being shoved and?
No,
All right, and just for the record, I'm not accepting the prior instances or allegations of prior instances, so that's stricken from the record.
Of course, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Okay, and did you sustain any injuries at all?
Yes.
Okay, and what kind of injuries did you sustain?
A couple of days later, I noticed when I was getting dressed to go to the store that I had a bruise on my arm. So I took a picture of it, a couple of them, and then in a week or two later, it was still there, and I took pictures of that, yeah.
Okay.
And the bruise just went away 5 days ago, so it was there for 3 weeks.
And would you recognize those pictures if you saw them here today?
Yes, they're just,
Okay. And Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yeah, are these proposed exhibits?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are they?
They
Proposed
are
1, 2, and 3?
proposed 1 and 2.
Proposed 1 and 2. Okay, you can approach the witness.
Thank you.
I'd like to get a copy of those too.
You have a copy of those, Mr. Martin.
I don't have papers, what do you mean?
I thought those copy photos were,
I can show you 10 pages, I got it on.
I was provided with copies. I left them in that room because half of the picture was chopped off.
okay, we'll get you a copy.
Alright,
And then may I approach the
You
witness?
can approach.
Thank you. Starting with people's proposed exhibit number 1. Do you recognize what I'm showing you?
no, that's my arm.
Okay. And,
It looks like a foot, but it's my arm.
okay, and do you recall what day this picture was taken?
Yes, there's dates on the pictures. It was taken on the 16th.
Okay, and does this photo appear to be manipulated, changed, or
No,
altered in any
I
way?
don't even want to do any of that.
Okay, and Your Honor, moving to admit people's proposed exhibit number 1.
All right, does that accurately reflect the way your arm looked on that day?
Yes,
Any objections, Mr. Martin?
yes, I object to the, pictures being admitted based on, prosecutor told me, as I asked her, when was they taken, prosecutor admitted it was taken 4 to 7 days later from the alleged, this allegedly happened.
All right, she
And
alleged.
based on the timeliness of it, I moved to dismiss it.
All right.
This violates my due process right to fairness, to
Okay.
timely.
Mr. Martin, the witness just testified that photo was taken on June 16th, which would be 2 days after the alleged incident. So that's her testimony.
It should have been taken immediately, and the prosecutor, the disputes, like I said, what the prosecutor told me, it was 4 days to 7 days later. she told me.
Okay, do you have any other objections to the photo being admitted?
Besides the timeliness, it's not a current, well, I mean, it's not true.
Okay,
But
okay,
that's-
it's admitted. You can
For my
ask
argument.
questions about the photos, but the photo's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, the date of incident was the 12th of June, and the photo was taken on the 16th, so it was 4 days after?
4 days after, okay.
Okay, and then do you recognize, I'm handing you Martez Peoples' proposed exhibit number 2 as well. Do you recognize this photo?
yes, that's my bruise still a week or 2 later. It's still looking like that.
Okay, and you recall the date of this photo?
I think it was 23rd,
Okay,
22nd and 23rd.
and did you take this photo?
Yes.
And does it at all appear to be manipulated, altered, or
No.
changed?
No,
Is that-
no, I took the photo.
And is that the same as how it looked on that day
Yeah.
it was taken? And Your Honor, the people are moving to admit people's proposed exhibit number 2 as well.
All right. Do you have the same objection to the admission of this photo, Mr. Martin?
Yes,
All right, it's noted for the record. They're admitted over objection. 1
Thank
and
you,
2
Your Honor.
are admitted.
And Your Honor, may I publish the photos to the court as well?
You may.
Thank you.
Okay. Ma'am, can you tell me where on your arm is that injury at? If you could just point to your arm, where is that?
It was right here.
All right, so in between the elbow and the shoulder.
Yeah,
On
it looks
the
like a
interior.
foot because my arm fat's hanging, but that's exactly where it was. See how it hangs?
Okay,
It was right here.
all right.
You
Record should
can see one
indicate,
of my spots in the picture too. That's where it was.
all right, record should
And it just
indicate.
went away.
Miss Martin, let me make the record here. Record should indicate that the photograph, the witness has indicated that that is her left arm in between her elbow and her shoulder blade on the lower portion of her arm.
Thank you, Your
Or
Honor.
interior portion of her arm, we'll say. Okay,
And Your Honor, this is people's exhibit number 2 from the 23rd.
okay, same area and location as the first
Right,
photo.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's still there.
And Ms. Martin, the photos that you were just shown, was that you stated that that was the left interior of your arm. Was that the same, was that the same area that you were shoved in earlier? On that day, on the 12th?
Yeah, when I was shoved, like I said, it takes a while for a bruise to appear. It doesn't appear immediately.
Okay,
So when I noticed it, that's when I took the picture.
okay, and what happened after this incident?
What happened
After you-
after he pushed me?
Yes.
Well, after he pushed me, I said, boy, you got your nerve to put your hands on me again. You don't learn, do you? And I called the cops, and it took about 25 minutes for the cops to get there.
And did the police arrive?
Yeah, about 25 minutes later, and the whole time he's yelling at me from the bedroom, calling me names, laughing, thinking he's gonna get arrested, whatever. I ended up going on the porch, because I didn't wanna hear him, because that's all I hear every day, all day long.
Do you remember what he was saying?
Nothing I could say in here, just the
You
usual.
can say it in here. It's a court of law, ma'am. If you remember what he said, you have to say it.
Swearing, calling me names, you know,
What kind of names?
I'm lying when I never told a lie in my life,
And
but I lied.
what kind of names were you being?
I don't even remember. I'm so used to this every day in my home. I ended up going on the porch, waiting for the cops to come. They came, they asked me what happened. They went in the house. They called him out of the bedroom. He came down to the end of the hall. They asked him what happened.
And were you present when they were questioning him?
Yes, I was standing in the kitchen.
Okay, do you recall what he said?
Well, what happened was the cops asked him what happened. He said he turned down the radio because it was cat abuse. And then, he told the cops I was lying. And then when I heard that, that's when I opened my mouth. I said, I'm not lying. I don't lie. And they're like, okay, be quiet to me.
And-
And then they arrested him. And of course, as they arrested him, you know, what's your badge number? I'm gonna get you guys fired, the usual. They just laugh at him and laugh out, yeah.
All right,
And then, and that's it. And they took him.
all right, thank you, Ms. Martin. Nothing further for this.
All right, Mr. Martin, do you have any, let me ask you this first.
Examine her arm though too.
You want to what?
Examine her, make sure, you know, it's where the rabbits supposedly were.
Well, they're not there anymore. She's shown us her arm in court. But I'll have her do it. Ma'am, can you just show your arm again? Where you had.
Where it was?
Well,
Where
I'm
the
gonna close
bruises-
and see.
What?
Don't talk to him.
I will stand
Wait,
up.
hey,
No, I was just saying, I'll stand
no,
up.
shh, quiet. Just listen. We're gonna get through this. Lift up your sleeve and show me. All right, see that, Mr. Martin?
Right here. There's
I'm
my
really
arm
careful
hanging,
here.
it was
I'm
right
really
here.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Listen, I'm gonna tell you two right now, we're not arguing back and forth. He has a right to ask you questions. Just do your best to answer his questions so we can,
Oh, I was just standing up, I wasn't arguing.
okay, I know, but I'm just, see, like, just, okay, go. Mr. Martin, what's your next question?
No, before I get to the question, I want to examine the arm closely.
You, no, I'm not gonna allow you to, Miss Martin, stop. I'm not gonna allow you to go up to the witness and examine the arm closely. She's shown it on the trier of fact. I've seen her arm, I've seen it. What's next?
For the record, I can't see from this distance, sir.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna allow you to approach the witness like
All
that.
right, well, anyway, now the videos, I want the court to review the videos. I don't want to get to that yet before, you know, after the question, whatever, but I want the videos reviewed in support of my arguments now, where the cops entered the house. That's actually only one video, so,
Are you moving for the admission of a video?
yeah. But
Is this a-
when they came in the house.
Is there a body worn camera video?
There is a body worn camera on
That
the
one.
interior of the house.
How lengthy is the video?
It's not that long.
Do you have any objections to the admission of that video?
I have no objection to it.
All right, this is stipulated exhibit 3. If you want to, you can put it on Zoom if you want, if you just wanna, if you're in the Zoom, you could just share screen. And then I can see it and the witness can see it and defendant can see it.
Your Honor, there are multiple videos, if I may ask which one he is referencing to.
I think this is the 5-minute one with the just entering the house. I think there's only one on that. The other ones are,
The
The
squad
car.
car?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on?
Orange.
Good. How you doing? Okay.
Can I say something?
No, she asked if she could say something. I told her no.
That's not from the night.
And she's correct, Your Honor, this is from the 16th. So this is not the video, the 5-minute one he was referencing.
Okay, that's when it violated the bond.
Mr. Martin, is this the video you're looking for?
Oh, let's take a look.
Well, no, look on the TV screen. We made it real big so you could see it.
Okay, well, they're not in the house yet.
Well, they'll get there.
I mean, I know you guys. She likes it, and then she know what happened. I heard.
Your Honor, I believe this is the wrong video as well.
Yes.
But there's another one I do want to look at. Well, yeah, I still want to use that one too as support, but keep going just until my brother gets done saying something and original stuff. This is all to case to go ahead, keep going a little bit.
Okay.
This one's 31 minutes.
If we could skip ahead to the,
Yeah, you want to see what happens, what you want me to see what happened in the house. Is that correct, Mr.
Yes,
Martin?
I'm saying, but as she was playing, I just want to go further, keep playing that one you just played. My brother, he makes a statement. I just want to go to there, then I'm gonna stop it and then go to that video, but I want to play that one.
Well, this is the one that's admitted. This is the one you wanted. So let's get through this and then you could try and move for the admission of another video. But let me see that. And just for the record, this is Exxon body cam 6/12/25. It looks like it's hours 22-27-44. So we'll start with this one. And if you want to fast forward it to,
for the record, that's at 1:39.
okay.
You turned up, it's way too low.
Can you make the audio any louder?
That's as loud as it's going.
There's no way to connect to the speakers in here, huh?
No, because of the feedback.
Oh,
Do you want me to just watch the videos?
Yeah, if you can do that, then yeah, I guess that would be, better.
Can I see the computer so I can see the audio?
Yes, Your Honor.
Or so I can hear the audio?
It was how long, 31 minutes? But.
Thank you.
Watch these.
This is number 65 today. This happened since it's been my house for 5 years. Pushed me that nearly. Choked me a little. Was it nothing major? Like I'm not hurt or nothing.
You don't feel like you're gonna lose consciousness.
No, but I'm not fucking touch me. Oh, I can lie and say you touch me. Yes, I'm fucking lie. I don't call the cops on you, Eric, unless you put your hands on me. Then, oh, shut up, that bitch. Shut up, that bitch. Say, no, bitch, I'll do what I want. You went like this to me. When he walked past it, and I said, oh, I said, I don't know where you got this.
Okay, so he pushed you.
Yeah, because he's also put his hand on my face before. Yes, my dad has never, 50 years of marriage, put his hands on
So
my
his name's
mother. Yeah, he's got a rap sheet and tail like this. You guys should know him. You know?
Eric, police. Eric, come out here. Come talk to us, Eric. Yeah, Jesus obliged. You're trying to just. All right, what's going on tonight, man? Well, I was turning the radio down, and the city girl, the cat, always lays by the radio. I turn it down so she's not doing her cat had abused by turning the radio loud in here. She don't.
It was like this. He always says this. Okay.
So I just turned it down so it's not blasting her, and she gets all emotional about it, tries to control everything. You know, she lets her emotions go wild, it's usually.
Just let him talk, you already talked.
My house.
Ma'am.
I know.
Outside.
No, I'm trying to get it made all day.
I'm trying to hear this side of the story.
I'm just saying,
Ma'am.
he touches it 10 times a day.
Stop talking over us.
You want me to get your side of the story?
Alright, step outside so we can talk.
No, I don't want you, but,
Yeah.
Trying to get your side of the story, ma'am.
anyway, so, that's it, turn the radio down, she goes wild and crazy, and that's it. Tells a lie about I assault her, and she's just telling a lie, and I want to mention, she tried to do this shit before, a total lie in court. It is on camera, the judge, prosecutor,
Alright,
for example, she's seen it before,
Sir,
right?
Never.
What happened to
And she lied. That was it,
Never
she's
told a
lying.
lie in my entire life.
Ma'am,
Okay,
you need to stop.
just
Right
believe
now.
I've never told a lie ever.
You need to stop.
Ever.
Right now.
Well,
See how she's
I'm
crying out for
lying.
emotions?
Alright,
You're both concerned.
I'm gonna put it back.
Right, I told you she's lying. You're gonna arrest her for her lie. That's weird.
You're gonna be under arrest for DV.
That's not, you can't arrest someone for someone tells a lie. Tell me she lied.
Stop talking!
What is your name?
Officer Buford.
Okay, you're gonna lose your job. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lose your job.
You don't have the right to arrest people for no evidence. You should know.
Well, it's DG, we have to arrest.
No, they don't have to. No, you're violating due process. She lied before, and it's on camera. The judge.
I've never lied a day in my life, so how would I lie? How do you don't
The
get it?
credibility's already shot. It's in the court. She lied before.
We're gonna take a walk through. What's up?
Yeah,
right here.
Both my brothers are evicted. They should have been out of here 7 months ago. I shouldn't have to put up with this abuse.
He's going to jail tonight, ma'am. What's
I know he's going to jail, but I'm just, yes, I'm just sick of him saying, oh, she's lying. I have never told a lie in my entire life. But that's what they both say.
We're not pressing you about that.
I know that, but
What's your first name, man?
Lisa,
What's your middle name?
K-A-Y,
What's your last name?
Martin, M-A-R-K. Oh, there,
What's your date of birth?
job,
Ma'am.
11/22/69. Oh, he wrote 1,000 lawsuits.
What's a good phone number for you?
734-512-608.
I'm just skipping that ahead.
Yeah, that's
Second.
that's the part, okay, that's further up as I.
Because
as relevant
he
to
does
what I
that,
want
he
to see.
unplugs
Anything
my
else that's
plumb
not
line
relevant?
10 times a day.
That's all you wanted me to hear on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
May I approach on?
You may.
Thank you.
And I,
All right, hold on.
okay.
Hold on. Mr. Martin, you're cross-examining the witness. So, okay, now you've had me see the video. Do you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, but I just want to point out in case, want me to do it.
Well,
before.
that's safe
That's
for
my
argument. Mr. Martin, you get to make your legal arguments or your factual arguments at the end of the case. We're in cross-examination. So I've watched the video. It's questions for the witness.
Yes, I do. I'm just saying I want some more motions to make that, remember,
Okay.
to dismiss.
No, go. Ask her questions.
All right.
Stay right here.
Yeah, Mr. Martin, stay there, but you can ask questions. There's a microphone right there.
I was one of the podium, that's not usual procedure. All right, you made a statement before, true, that, I don't know the law. True or false?
True.
Based on what?
You don't know the law. All you do is break the law for 40 years.
So what is that statement based on then?
I have advice for relevance.
It's irrelevant. Next question.
You said, the house is yours. You said that several times.
Yes, it is mine,
Your Honor, I
Measure.
object to
but it's not in my name. It is mine. I have the will to prove it.
And I've taken judicial notice that the house and the city of Taylor is under your father's name. Both parties agree to that. So, next question.
Okay. You made the statement that I've been evicted, true or false?
Yes, you
Your
got
Honor,
certain.
again, relevance.
How's that relevant, Mr. Martin?
Attack or credibility?
All right, go ahead.
And, well, has any, formal proceedings been filed in court ordered by a judge that?
Well, those are two different questions. So wait, if he's gonna try and attack her credibility, the first question was, you asked you asked her what, if she had ever evicted you, right? So let her answer that question, yes or no?
Yes, he was served an eviction from here, you know, you get the paper. He was
Okay.
served it September 17th.
All right,
He was supposed
one
to be
sec.
out October
Oh.
17th.
Next question.
Has the judge ordered me evicted, yes or no?
No, you did not get out October 17th and you haven't left.
Have you filed official paperwork in any courthouse, or this courthouse?
Judge, I don't see the relevance.
Let me I'm giving him some leeway. He's in pro per. I don't know where he's going with it, so I'm gonna allow it. Go on, Mr. Martin.
Have you filed any paperwork in court that actually got me, or that caused me to be evicted, yes or no?
Yes, I went to the court window when you walk in and go to the right and got the paper for the eviction, filled it out, handed you the copy. I have the other copy. You were supposed to have been out October 17th.
So did you initially, officially file it with the court clerk, yes or no?
Yes, I got the paper from the court clerk.
And do you have any proof of that, like, stamp?
You have the copy, I have the original.
But no, okay, well, anyway, so no judge issued an order, you said again, right? No judge issued an order,
No, I did not see a judge.
okay? I didn't ask, did you see one? Did one issue an?
Well, it sounds like maybe she filed a 30-day notice to quit and gave you notice, but then an eviction case was not brought because you never saw a judge. Does that sound about right? Okay, next question. I got it.
Is it true you said, in the videos several times, you never told a lie in your life?
That's right.
Now you say I pushed you. How many times did I push you?
You already heard that.
Answer the question, ma'am, no
Twice.
argument.
And where in the body was that supposedly?
Obviously on my arms, since I have a big bruise for 3 weeks. And then the second time, like I said,
Well, the picture's not clear. I see the point in this area around the left shoulder. The other picture's unclear. Where on the
Judge,
body
I
that's supposed to
object
be?
and ask that defense formulate his statement in a question.
Yeah, you have to ask questions. You can't just
I did.
you're testifying.
Where is it on the body? Where is it on the body? Besides the other one that's by the left shoulder, I'm asking her, where is the other supposed bruise, or what do you call it?
there was only the one.
So now there's one.
All the pictures are of the same bruise.
Okay, I understand. Next question.
Is
Mr.
it-
Martin, she testified that one of the bruises, the first picture was taken on the 16th of that area on her arm. And then she testified the second photo was the exact same area on the 23rd where the bruises were still there. That was what she testified to.
Yes.
Okay, isn't it true that you, have been bit by some type of bug causing these?
This overruled. Go ahead.
No.
No, she's got a right to do that. She's a prosecutor. She's objecting to irrelevant questions or questions she believes are irrelevant, that she's doing her job. But I'm giving you leeway to see where you're going.
I think they're a little too quick because I didn't hear me out.
Okay, go on, Mr. Martin.
But isn't it true that you've been bit by a bug before, causing you to have a skin condition in your
Yes.
arms?
Scarred, yeah. My arms are scarred. And bottom of my legs. What is that guy with it?
Well, I'll get to that in argument, but, okay, that's the question. Thinking other questions. Okay, so is it true that, I turned the radio down? I guess you admit that, I guess I don't need you to, you already admitted you turned the radio down. Isn't it true that, Kitty Girl the cat was laying by the radio when I turned it down?
I don't remember where she was at. It's none of your business to touch my radio. If it was on full blast, it's none of your business to touch it in my
Just
house.
answer the question. Do you remember the cat being by the radio, yes or no?
No, I don't
All
remember.
right, next
Yeah.
question. She doesn't remember. Next question.
It was on volume 2.
No more. Next question. It's irrelevant. Quite frankly,
I know.
whether or not the cat was by the radio means nothing to me as a trier of fact.
Oh,
Next question.
He knows the law.
I know,
how it is.
but you don't know how to be quiet and answer questions.
I'm answering them.
Ma'am, do not respond to me again. If I ask you to answer the question and then quit talking, just quit talking. Next question.
You have a receipt for the radio since you alleged it's your radio.
Irrelevant. Next question.
I object to you saying it's relevant because.
I don't care. I'm the judge and I said it's irrelevant. Next question.
Is it true that a case was dismissed before where you testifying that you never swung it?
That you never what? I just didn't hear you.
I'm asking her, has a case been dismissed before with me that you tried to bring against me alleging I attacked you? And I asked you, did you swing me before? And you said no. But the judge has seen on the video that wasn't true.
Judge, I'd object to relevance on this as well.
Oh, I can explain that.
All right, well, I don't know if it's relevant or not.
It's not.
I mean, does it go to her credibility? Maybe. So I'm gonna, go ahead, explain it.
I've never swung at him, for one. This video he's talking about, the first time that he didn't put his hands on me, he kicked me in the stomach back, and I called the cops. We had a Zoom meeting with Slavin on that. I couldn't do Zoom at that time on my phone. My boss let me do Zoom on hers while I was at work. I went in the conference room. I let them know that this phone's gonna die any minute. They said, if it does, call this number back. So as he was representing himself again, asked me a question, something, the phone died. I called the number right back and they said, the judge dismissed it. I said, how? He kicked me in my stomach for no reason.
Okay.
And they said he showed a video to the judge. Well, there's no video of me ever coming at him. So what he showed, he basically committed perjury. He showed a video of years ago when he grabbed my wrist so hard and I had to fling my arm like loose. That would be the only video that he could have shown Judge Slavin.
All right.
For him to dismiss it.
Okay.
That had nothing to do with him kicking me in my stomach of what the incident was about.
All right. Mr. Martin, next question.
Is it true that after I turned the radio down, that you went to my room getting in my face?
No, I didn't even walk in the room.
Wait. Okay, that was her answer. Now, what was your next question?
Did you go to my room after that? Told me he was gonna go to my room and mess with something in my room after I turned the radio down. Did you do that?
I didn't even go in your room, which is really my room, because it's my house, but no, I was on the outside. You said, get out of my room, charge toward me, and that's when you pushed me.
No more questions that I can think of right now.
All right, any redirect?
Just one question. Ms. Martin, could you have gotten that bruise any other way?
No,
Okay, you wouldn't
I never
have
left the
or
house.
anything?
Never left the house, didn't even vacuum out, I think for a couple days, no.
Okay, nothing further.
Okay, so witness, do you have
Excuse me, yeah, just.
recross?
Some
Okay,
more questions, just.
go ahead.
Sorry, but, isn't it true that you smoke cigarettes every day?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
How's it relevant?
As to, so be my argument, how she's partially suicidal by smoking cigarettes, and this is why
Okay,
she'd be willing to
No.
mark herself off.
no. Sustained. Next.
So the next question would be along the same lines of that, if you're not gonna allow that, then the others do the same thing, so. That's all I can think of right now.
All right, can this witness be excused? Do we have any further questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're excused. Thank you.
And the people rest, Your Honor.
All right. To prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt rests solely on the prosecutor. Do you understand that?
Comprehend that.
Okay. And you understand that I could not use your silence against you in making a decision on this case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So that doesn't matter one way or another to me. I would not consider whether or not you testified or whether you didn't testify when making it a determination in this case. Do you understand that?
Well, I don't understand, I don't have it. Well, I can comprehend I don't have to, but I don't know, I don't agree maybe the legal aspect, whether it's.
Well, you don't have to agree with it. I'm telling you, as a judge,
Understand.
I just need to make sure you understand that I'm telling you, your refusal to testify would not be used against you. I would not consider it. Do you understand that?
I comprehend that, yeah.
Okay. And, are you waiving that right to remain silent and testifying in this case?
Yes.
Okay, before we take your testimony, do you have a motion for directed verdict or a motion otherwise?
Yes, but you know, there's an issue of kind of evidence I want to get to kind of support the case too. And I, you know, being in jail, I don't have access to it, and now the lawyer's not doing his job, so now.
Mr. Martin, you had a bond condition. I want to be clear on this. You had one bond condition that you would not follow. I told you you could not return to that residence while the case was pending. And you continued to go back to that residence. And you violated the conditions of this court. And that is why you were in custody. So let's be crystal clear. The reason you had a personal bond. I let you out and you refused to comply with the conditions of my bond.
I had nowhere else to go to neither.
Well, that's not a me problem, sir. I'm telling you, the reason you were in custody, solely the reason you were in custody is because you would not follow my bond conditions. So you took away your freedom because all you had to do was that one thing and you couldn't do it. So let's be crystal clear on that. Now, did you have a motion?
Yes, I have some, yes.
Your record.
Move to dismiss based on, well, the police officers due forward is not here, and the other one, I move to dismiss on that. My right to cross-examine is violated on that because they're not here, so. Tort, Dylan, and Jeremy Dufour, they're not here, so.
Okay. Anything else? The prosecutor has a right to prove her case as she sees fit. And if she wants to bring in a complaining witness and prove that through the testimony of one witness, she's entitled under Michigan law to do so, or any law in the country. So that motion's denied. What else?
Well, I don't have a response to that. That's true as what her right might be, but I'm saying my right to process is being violated, so it's irrelevant to my right to be violated.
Okay.
Cross-examine.
You made your record. What's next?
Next one is, under, I move to dismiss under MCL, that ain't good, it's the 28.6B. I'm gonna pull it up, I can refresh your number.
Thank you. I will do that. Go ahead.
It's like section 1, if I remember right, I think go to section 1. I was just looking the other day on the tab of the jail, and I had to hurry up and turn it in, so I have a chance to write it down. I'm pretty sure it's section 1. At first, the police is, their limitation on arresting. And it mentions, I'm pretty sure it's section 1, where it says, they shall not arrest basically unless, if they're not aware of a crime being committed right in front of them, they're not supposed to be arrested.
Okay.
So they shouldn't have arrested under that statute, and therefore, since they shouldn't have. Now, well, let me ask you before I get to the rest of my argument, do you see where it says that in section 1? Or 2? It's not much reading, it's right under the, you only have to read all the heading and all that, just right when it gets to the text of the statute. It's referring to police as, like I said, the limits on arresting. They may arrest only in felony cases or if a crime has been committed in their presence. That means they know for sure. Otherwise, they shall not arrest. This statute supports that. They did it anyways, so therefore, I've been illegally arrested.
Okay. I see the statute. I've looked at the statute, and that motion's denied.
I'd like to know the reason.
Okay, Mr. Martin, well, you can appeal me.
I will, and actually, I want to get an appeal form for the request.
Okay, well, we got to find out what my ruling on the case is before you do that. But any motions or that you've made that I've ruled against you on, you potentially can file your motion on those and we'll make sure we address that, but I'm
Alright,
still taking evidence.
All right,
Anything else?
I don't think so, no.
All right, Mr. Martin, you want to come and take the witness stand? Stand and face me, Mr. Martin. And raise your right hand. You understand you have a right to... Sir, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, have a seat, Mr. Martin. And he does not have an attorney, so I'm going to allow him to just give a narrative, and then you can cross-examine on that narrative. All right, Mr. Martin, go ahead. What do you want the court to know?
Start off, my sister is she's a constant liar.
Okay,
She's very aggressive,
Okay.
psychotic, and to a degree.
all right. Is there anything you want to tell me about this instance?
Well, first we'll start with the general, then we'll go to specifics.
All right, well, that's character evidence, and it's not admissible, so it's stricken. Go ahead.
And I object to that because it's relevant to the credibility.
Okay, it's not. You're talking about her aggressive behavior, right?
Excuse me?
You're telling me she's psychotic and very aggressive, and that really doesn't go to her credibility. That goes to...
Well, the end of me arguing to see it. but
All right, what's
Like-
next? What else do you want to tell me?
That's reconsidered after I do my argument.
Okay,
I'll point out it's relevant.
all right.
I wouldn't say things that's not relevant, so even though I'm not an official attorney, I don't have their official training. Studying and practicing law for 30 years, I know it's relevant.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
So basically, on the day in question here, it was relevant to the complaint. Turn the radio down because she had it too loud. The kitty cat was laying right there by the radio. She had it at an uncomfortable level. Turned it up, it was too loud. I turned it down in consideration of the cat. So I was stressing the cat. And it wasn't no volume, like low, real low, or too, like she says. It was loud and at a comfortable level. So I do it, she gets all crazy and emotional. You're not gonna be turning my radio down, and turn it back up. I'll go in your room, mess with it. So I went back in my room. As she said, she was going in my room, mess with something, so I go in my room before her.
Wait, what? Who went to the room first?
I went to the room first.
Okay, and then what?
I mean, after she said it, so she already gave me indication, going in the room, mess with something in my room, so I went in there so I could see, so she ain't doing something I can't see, but. So then she followed me in there, like right at the doorway, she came in behind me. And, then she's standing right there at the doorway and then still shouting, you gotta be turning my radio down. Whatever, this is my house, and just getting all emotional and crazy, but that's it basically. And I just turned around and said, get out of my way. She was just blocking my way, but she was all in my face, and trying to instigate me to do something to her as she normally does, as she did in the last case, which is why they dismissed it. They seen on the videos.
All right, I don't care about that case. Keep going.
Basically just getting aggressive in my face, and I told her to get out of my way. She wasn't moving, trying to instigate me to assault her. But I didn't do that. I just, I had a little leeway, like between the wall and where she was standing. She was standing to the left a little bit, so I just turned my body like this, and since she wouldn't move, I just went aside her, and I didn't push her or do nothing. I went alongside her, behind her, and went to the refrigerator, and that's basically it.
Go out in the hallway. Go in the hallway. Yes, you, go in the hallway.
Yeah.
Go on.
I listened to all this lies.
All right, go on, Mr. Martin.
That's basically it. I went to the refrigerator, and that was basically it. And then I went to my room, and she called the cops, and that's it. That's pretty much it. And, like I said, basically she lied and didn't do it. They
Anything
grabbed
else?
her, nothing.
All right, so your testimony is you didn't push her, you just walked beside her?
Yeah, slip, like, turn my body like this, but I mean, the way she instigates someone, she instigates people to do stuff like that, and then she wants to act like she's the victim, but That's not true, and, as her own testimony, I want to say, admits.
Just,
Yeah, make
it's
us.
not argument, just tell me what else happened or whatever. All I wanna know about is what happened that night.
Yeah, that's all I have to say that happened that night.
All right, Cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Martin, to start, you do understand that you're under oath and under the penalty of perjury, correct?
Comprehend that?
Okay, and yes or no answers if you could.
Yes.
Okay, and you and Lisa Martin are siblings, correct?
What's the word sibling?
Brother, sister.
Yeah,
Okay, and were you both, on the date of June 12th, 2025, you were both at the location 9074 Clipper in the city of Taylor, County of Wayne?
yeah.
And that's your home?
My home now, well, it's our father's, it was our parents' house.
Do you live there?
I live there, I've been living there all my life.
And does Lisa live there?
Yes.
Okay, and on that day, June 12th, did you and Lisa have a verbal disagreement?
Verbal back and forth, yes.
Okay, and was it about a radio?
Yeah.
Okay, and would you agree that that argument got heated? Were you upset?
Well, stuff, I mean, back and forth, I'm not sure about the step part, but verbal back and forth, maybe a little bit, but nothing to the degree gonna make me salt her. I know that's what she wants. I know she's gonna call the cops anyway, so I know there's no sense in
Okay,
doing that.
and so you're stating no, that it wasn't heated?
I guess every argument maybe to agree might be slightly, but I'm not gonna say it was really heated, I mean, no, I mean, maybe a little bit, but not really, no.
Okay, and was your tone, was it raised?
It was maybe slightly, not too much really, but
Okay, and you're denying that any physical contact occurred with you and Lisa Martin?
no,
Okay, and you're stating at that time that you were inside your bedroom
yes.
and Lisa was by the doorway?
Doorway like in my room, just barely though, but just like 1 foot inside the doorway. And I walked away a little bit and I just turned right around.
And do you know how big that doorway is? Is it wide, is it narrow?
I'm not,
Is it a regular house doorway, Mr.
yeah,
Martin?
it's regular.
For a bedroom? I saw the pictures of the door and the,
This ain't no mansion, so, but she was standing to the left, right, just had enough to get by her, plus, I'm a small guy, I can, stand to the side and I can get by, you see, I'm a pretty skinny guy, I mean, only 140 some pounds, I'm telling you which, for me to get through.
Okay, and Mr. Martin, you're stating that you never touched her at any point?
Nope,
You never, even walking past the doorway, didn't accidentally hit her or anything?
no, even though she wanted that to happen, was standing in the way, but I had enough way to get through and, no.
Okay, and you heard Miss Lisa Martin testify. Do you disagree that this incident took place?
Her testimony is a lie. The only thing she told the truth was about the radio. I turned the radio down,
But you're
Right.
disagreeing with what she testified to today, that an assault occurred?
yes,
Okay, and you're maintaining that today?
yes, and I don't agree that, I'm also testifying that these they look like blotches on the skin, that ain't caused by no finger pressure, that's,
But you're maintaining that today, right? That didn't occur?
right, yes.
Okay, and one moment, Your Honor. Mr. Martin, at any point in your life, have you ever been convicted of a crime of dishonesty?
Fraudulently assumed, so yes,
Okay.
was that within the last 10 years?
no.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have nothing further from Mr. Martin.
I have some more, things to say.
All right, well, if there was a crime of fraudulent activity and he did testify at some point that there was some crime of dishonesty in his past, it's past 10 years according to both the prosecutor and the witness, so I'm not using any of that testimony in making my decision. Mr. Martin, go ahead.
Yes, also want to say now, the main reason why my sister, keeps up with this agenda of telling constant lies and trying to get with these domestic cases, is because she has this agenda trying to take over the house for herself. Hoping the cop would be dumb enough to arrest me like they was. No problem cause, no evidence, just based on her word. And this is the agenda why she's doing it. And then she even had her daughter try this on me too, which that case was dismissed too. This is why there's no evidence. And she knew when I reminded her of it, by the law, you gotta have evidence. You gotta have not just your word, but it's not evidence.
Well, your testimony is evidence, Mr. Martin, so,
Well, I said, but
and that is, the jury instructions tell me that I can convict based on the testimony of one witness, so I'll follow the jury instructions. But go on.
no, but that's no more than my testimony.
That's correct, sir. You're absolutely right about that.
So, but yeah, so her daughter had tried the same thing. That case was dismissed. So they both try to conspire with each other.
All right, I'm striking all of that. None of that's relevant. What else, Mr. Martin?
I'm just gonna say that's their agenda. That's the.
I understand.
That's my sister's agenda.
All right, Mr. Martin, anything else? All right, are you done?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Martin, you can have a seat. You have anything else you want me to consider?
No, that's what I'm trying to think. I don't want to rush and then forget something unless I'm trying to.
Well, that's all right, Mr.
Yeah.
Martin. I think you covered quite a bit here. So you can have a seat back at the stand or at the defense table. All right, and Mr. Martin, are you resting at this time?
Resting? What does that mean?
Well, do you have any more witnesses that you're calling?
Oh. Okay. Well, no, I wanted it first, but no, since you questioned her on it, it's not necessary. I was gonna, like I said, the tax assessor, but that's good. I'm glad you covered that. I don't need that now, but, let me think,
Mr. Martin, you don't have.
oh, the other video. That's right. That's just reminding me.
All right,
What
you,
mentioned.
Mr. Martin, you can have a seat. Just have a seat. I'll accept that other video, but your brother's not here to testify about that, okay? And I don't really think it's relevant. Do you have a closing argument?
Yes, Your Honor. Start, Your Honor. Today we're here for assault and battery charge, domestic violence count against Mr. Eric Martin. We as the people believe that we have met the burden of beyond a reasonable doubt for these charges here today. We did hear testimony from Miss Lisa Martin. This is Mr. Eric Martin's sister. They both reside in the same home. That a dispute occurred over a radio on the date of June 12th, 2025 in the city of Taylor, County of Wayne, location being 9074 Clifford. This is both these individuals' home. Miss Lisa Martin testified at some point after a radio was turned down, she approached Mr. Eric Martin's room. Eric Martin he stated to get out of her room. He shoved her once and then attempted to shove her again, but hit her neck the second time. This was unwanted contact by Mr. Eric Martin against Lisa Martin. The testimony believed our witness, Miss Lisa Martin, to be credible. At no point did she change her testimony or change the story. So we believe that we have met our burden today and ask that you find the defendant, Mr. Eric Martin, guilty.
All right, thank you. Mr. Martin, closing arguments.
First of all, the witness is nowhere near credible. They have no credibility at all. As it was evident today by reviewing the video, that my sister made comments several times, "It's my house, it's my house." But yet, as she admitted to the judge, the house is not in her name. So it's not her house. That's one lie right there. Well, she's a liar. And her other statement was in the video. I don't know the law. And as she admitted it today in court too, I don't know the law. That's totally baseless.
All right, well, Mr. Martin, she's not charged and you're not charged with not knowing the law. This is a domestic violence case.
I realize I'm saying as to her credibility. This is a lot.
Okay, well, Mr. Martin, you didn't go to law school. I don't care if you're personally insulted by your sister saying you don't know the law.
No, I'm not insulted. I'm saying this goes to her credibility.
Okay, well, it doesn't.
She's making false
It
statements.
doesn't. Because you don't know the law.
Obviously, I made reference to NCRs in here, how my
Okay.
city chart.
Anything else,
obviously,
Mr. Martin? Are you ready for my ruling, Mr. Martin? Because I'm ready to rule.
No. Like I said, I got more relies to point out.
Oh, okay, well, you don't even have to. I'm gonna make my ruling, all right? The prosecutor has the burden of proving this case beyond a reasonable doubt. It's the highest standard in criminal law. It's like 96%. The jury instructions tell me I can convict based on the testimony of one witness. Jury instruction addresses that. But I also have to consider jury instruction 3.6 on witness credibility. And there are factors I'm to look at when I determine whether or not I believe a witness is credible. And those factors do not weigh in Miss Martin's favor. There's no doubt she had a memory. She was consistent with her story to some degree. But she evaded questions. She argued with this court. She argued with the prosecutor. She argued with Mr. Martin. I had to tell her on multiple occasions to be quiet. Ultimately, I had to remove her from the court for her behavior. She has no self-control. That was abundantly clear to me. Mr. Martin has appeared in front of me many, many times at this point, and he's a handful, and he's frequently disruptive during court proceedings. That doesn't mean that I'm going to take all of that into consideration when I'm determining whether or not someone is guilty of the charge of domestic violence beyond a reasonable doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that people have personal interests involved in this case. And here's the reality. It's very difficult to prove a case based on the testimony of one witness, especially when that witness is argumentative to the extent that she has to be removed from the courtroom. That's just the reality of the situation here. And Mr. Martin, whether or not I agree with him 99.9% of the time, is not what the issue is here. The issue is whether or not the people have met their burden of proving Mr. Martin committed a domestic assault beyond a reasonable doubt. And based on the jury instructions, based on the testimony that I've heard today, I do not believe the people have met their burden. And the case against Mr. Martin is, my verdict is not guilty. Anything else?
Thank you for your just decision.
Well, Mr. Martin, that doesn't mean I think I agree with you on most things, but you don't have the burden today. And that's my ruling. We're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What makes this courtroom exchange especially interesting is that the judge is not deciding the case based simply on who seems more convincing or who has caused more disruption in court. The prosecution still has to prove the domestic assault charge beyond a reasonable doubt, and the judge must carefully evaluate the credibility of the witnesses. Here, the judge acknowledged that Lisa Martin gave a generally consistent account and provided photographs of the alleged bruise. But her argumentative behavior and repeated interruptions significantly affected how the court viewed her credibility. Meanwhile, Eric Martin denied pushing her and claimed he simply moved around her in the doorway. Although the judge made clear that Eric's unusual legal arguments and courtroom behavior did not automatically make him innocent or guilty, the prosecution ultimately failed to meet the required burden of proof,